Agenda. Parmeni.
Thought, let me take the first step, you know.
Yeah. Did you know what was happening at the time when it was happening?
I think at the time, because I was so young, I kind of didn't fully understand it until later on. Like, I knew that it felt uncomfortable. Like, I was like, this doesn't feel right. But this is an older person, and maybe this is how it's supposed to be. It's like all of those kind of things. And it's only afterwards. Dude, exactly. You know, so it's only afterwards that I was kind of like, no, man, I couldn't shake this feeling that, no, this can't, there's something not right here. So again, you know, like we spoke about earlier in terms of the relationship I had with my folks, I brought it up with them and I was like, guys, this happened and I don't really know
what's what,
you know. And they were like, well, the fuck?
And it's someone you knew, bro?
It was somebody in the neighborhood, yeah, somebody I knew. It wasn't like a complete stranger or anything, you know. And it turned out that I wasn't the only one. Like there were a bunch of other kids within that area who this guy had done this to as well. And because I'd said something, you know, it did go to court. The other kids did come forward.
This is a Netflix documentary, bro.
Right, it's crazy, dog. I mean,
you know, remember like When They See Us?
Yeah,
those vibes.
Yeah. It's pretty much very similar to that in many ways. But yeah, there was a whole bunch of kids who came out, and yeah, it did go to court. Didn't even have to testify because the guy was just owned up to everything. He was like,
was he a priest?
No, not a priest. No, at that point, I mean, church for me growing up wasn't really a thing. My parents kind of took us every now and then, like Easter, Christmas, you know, the odd Sunday school. But church wasn't never.
Doesn't that shit scar you for life in terms of like now you want no sexual activity?
No, it can, and it can make you fearful of intimacy. But I had to work through it. You know what I mean?
Do you still remember the first time you broke your virginity?
Oh yeah. I was a latlamiki. You know what I mean?
What does that mean?
I was late bloomer. Dog.
Oh, late bloomer, same year.
You know what? Cheers to that. Amen. Oh, well after matric, dog. No, well after matric.
Yeah.
I think high school. I was just really having fun. You know, I did really well. Yeah.
What happened? Did she come to your house?
No.
You went to her?
My folks could be watching. No. It didn't come to my place. I think it was at her place. This is now I was working already, so I was in the office and you know, met this girl. But yeah, it was. I remember by that point already. I think I'd come to grips with like, okay.
So you go to her place,
yeah.
And then she wants it, or like, do you want it?
Well, obviously. Come on now.
So after you
we were. It was kind of like a fling that kind of turned into a relationship a little bit, and yeah, it was. It felt like a natural progression.
Did you know you were gonna do it? Because you know every guy knows when they're gonna smash, bro.
Yeah, by that point, I think I knew.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. But fuck, I don't really remember much about it. I remember I was like really nervous.
Yeah.
And then there's the condom. And I was like, what the fuck am I doing? I think I know how this works, but okay, let's go. You know what I mean?
Afterwards, are you like, fuck, this is nice?
Yeah, shit, I could do this. You know, you're like, oh, okay.
Do you still know the girl? Have you met her since?
Man, we were together for a bit, and then but lately, no.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a long time ago. You know, I'm 34 now. This was
so
long time ago.
The reason why I asked you if it scarred you, because I look at I don't know if you've watched the R. Kelly thing, right? I looked at R. Kelly.
I couldn't finish it.
Yeah, bro, because he was sexually abused as well at a very young age, which is a route that you could have taken but you seem to have come out of it.
Yeah.
And come out of it well. You know? And hence, you are open about it and can speak about it. And I think he got stuck in that place. And he ended up, like, people that hurt are people that were hurt.
Yeah, often that's the case. And I think, a person has to take responsibility for their actions. You've got to decide what your reaction is going to be in life. Excuse me. You can't control what happens to you, right? Generally. You lose your job, COVID.
Virginity.
But you can control how you respond to those situations. I'm a firm believer in that. And it has to start with a person taking responsibility for themselves and going, look, I need to come to grips with what's going on in my life. And I need to take the necessary steps to do that. I think a lot of people, often the self-awareness isn't there to go, fuck it, I need help. I need to sort myself out. And I'm struggling on my own. I need to reach out to somebody. No, for me, I think because I had a good family dynamic, good foundation, there wasn't anything I couldn't talk to my parents about.
Because you could have been an R. Kelly, you know that, right?
I mean, it's possible. You know what I mean? Had I not, healed from it. And even in as an adult, you find like triggers, or you'll be in a relationship arguing with somebody and something will just trigger that moment and you'll suddenly react and go, okay, I don't know where that came from. But I got like really angry there or when I really had no need to be. So what's going on? And you have to reflect and go, okay, what the hell, dude? Where was that coming from? And you find it was just a trigger for something that this person is standing in front of you was not responsible for. But it triggered a reaction from something that you hadn't dealt with. And I think as men in general, we don't do that enough. We don't sort out the shit that happened to us way back. So we walk through life engaging with people. And
macho.
Exactly. You got to suck it up and move on.
Hey, but that shit is...
But everyone breaks. Everyone has a breaking point.
Bro, that shit is breaking.
There's no, God's going to fix it. Do you know what I mean? You've got to take responsibility for yourself. And
I would have taken that to the grave, dog.
Serious. I think again, it because I probably would have, to be honest. I mean, apart from my family and maybe close friends, but because I was in a position where I thought it could help with what I was doing in terms of the organization I was with, and you were with the kids. I was like, look, let's all start on the same level. So I'll be straightforward with you guys. You be straightforward with me, and that's how we did those.
And you're not worried about what the media is gonna think.
No, never. I've never been worried about what the media thinks.
Because these trolls, they'll go straight to that.
No, of course, but again, I know why I got into this industry. I know enough about myself to be secure about myself, and those things don't faze me at all, man.
Speaking about God, why are you an atheist?
Why I'm an atheist is simply because I'm not convinced that it's true, right? So, and because when people ask you, like, do you believe in God? Often my first question is, okay, which one? Do you know what I mean? It's like, well, which one? Because I want to have that conversation. I want to understand.
Yeah.
Because, yes, I've been surrounded by Christianity almost my whole life. And I was never really convinced with it. I mean, maybe as a child when you buy into the Noah's Ark, I think we all knew that story growing up. But you and there's a reason why they teach it to kids.
What's the reason?
Well, because your critical thinking faculties aren't there yet. You can't think for yourself. You don't ask the questions.
Oh yeah.
You as a child, especially a young child, our brains only developed far enough to be told what to do.
Yes.
So don't touch that, do this.
Yes.
Do your homework, do that. Don't do that, do this.
That's it.
That's as far as the brain can comprehend. And then at that age, you tell kids that, there's a hell. What is that supposed to teach them? That everything they do must come out of fear. So I'll only do the right thing if I'm scared. How is that a good teaching? You do the right thing because you do the right thing, right?
When did you start questioning that, bro?
I think by high school I was already like, guys, I'm okay, you know. And it wasn't a big thing. I didn't understand. I didn't know what an atheist was. Right? The word shouldn't even exist, because it's a nonsense. It's a nonsense thing. It just means you're not convinced that it's true. And I'm at a point in my life where I want to believe as many true things as possible. So how do you get to truth? And truth is not subjective.
And which religions have been exposed to Christianity?
I mean, growing up in Durban, you're exposed to Islam, you're exposed to Hinduism, you're exposed to Christianity, obviously, Catholicism being a part of that.
And none of them landed.
None of them, man. I think they all fell short in the same way. Is that you look at, we'll use Christianity here, for example, you know. Like some of the stories, you go, that can't possibly, Noah's Ark didn't happen. Do you know what I mean? Like if you look I was always interested in dinosaurs like growing up, right? So I always used to read, I read a lot growing up, and I think that's what helped as well. But I was just interested in like fossils and archaeology, and at some point as a kid, I thought I'd be an archaeologist. Yeah.
Oh, you're an actor.
But
you can pretend to be
here
an
we are.
You can act like an archaeologist.
Yeah, exactly. Steven Spielberg, where are you now? And I guess I because I was always interested in questioning everything. I think I come from a home where you don't just do as you're told by anyone. It could be your parents, the government, anyone. You don't just do as you're told. You ask. And
why?
And get to a point where you understand. The problem is we skip that step, I think, a lot of the time. We're so used to being told what to do that we almost look for people to tell us what to do. So we want people to tell us what's right and wrong without asking for ourselves, well,
why?
Is it right or wrong? I mean, you read the Bible, there's horrific things in there, man. You know, I mean, there's if you're gay, the punishment is stoning, hell, adultery. Only the woman is punished, funny enough. Slavery is okay, you know, under certain regulations. Don't eat shrimp. Okay, why can't I eat shrimp? But slavery is okay?
And then what about...
Something's not right, you know? No, anything super... Yeah, I'm an African, purely by default. I didn't choose where I was born, right? None of us chose where we were born. If we were born in India, we'd most likely be Hindu. Can you see how fickle like religion is? Like you could be born in Pakistan and we'd most likely all be Muslim.
But as an African, what do you think about amadlozi and
the same thing I think about anything in life is that in order for me to be convinced, I have to be shown. You have to convince me that it's true. I don't want to jump to believe that something is true.
But as we
before
stand right
it's
now,
actually true, before it's been demonstrated to be true.
As we stand right now, what's your take on ancestors?
The same thing as Hinduism. I don't say that it's not true, right? So I don't say that can't happen or it's impossible. But from what I know, death is the end. From what we've been shown, right? Nobody's come back from the dead to tell us, oh, guys, the journey that I just went on. I remember, you know, I got my head chopped off.
Unless you're Bushiri.
You know. And nobody believes him, right? Well, some people do, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Because people haven't learned to think for themselves. Like, and I don't have a problem with the belief.
Yeah,
right?
Sure,
if it does good for you as a human being, that's cool. But you should also know that that's a completely subjective way of looking at it, right? We know the history. We're lucky to be born at a time where we have a lot of information about the world we live in. You look around at where we're sitting around. Looking around at all the technology that's around us, right? Yeah. You've got a laptop, we've got a mic. We're speaking into a mic. And this is going to be put out over the air.
I've got the black coffee.
You know, you've got the, right? It's getting captured by some pretty complicated technology. And you say, okay, all these things came about how? It wasn't magic. A bunch of people had to really think about the nature of things around us. Like, what is sound, right? What is it? How does the eye work? Because that's how we structured the lens to work, right? Wow, I've got bugs all over me. So the answers are always there, I think. But we have to, and there's only one truth. Do you know what I mean? There isn't, you have your truth. Like I could say, well, the sky is like partly cloudy right now. And he said, no, it's not. It's completely overcast. It's like, no, I can see the sun right there.
So what do you say? Do you say, oh my God or oh my queen?
It doesn't make a difference. I can say fuck. Fuck is my preferred exclamation. Yeah, like fuck. Just you could use it in so many different ways. I love swearing.
When you got married, didn't you get married in church?
I did. I was trying to, and like with that, I mean, I got baptized. I went through the whole thing.
For real?
Yeah.
And you didn't believe any of it?
I tried to. I honestly tried to. And to be fair, like the church that my wife belonged to, they like read the Bible. Like they read it like thoroughly, you know. And it was probably the first time where I actually read the Bible properly. And what I read just left me with more answers left me with more questions than answers. You know, God, I mean, you start with Genesis. You know, God said, let there be light. And that was the first day and that was the first night. But then only created the sun on the fourth day. What? Where was the light coming from? How did he have day and night before there was the sun?
What do you think?
We know how day and night comes about. Yeah.
According to you, what do you think happens when you die?
From what we know, when you die, that's it.
According to you?
Not according to me. According to the evidence that's there. I mean, like I said, we have no evidence of anyone coming back from the dead. We have no evidence that there is anything after the dead. For all we know, we are physical creatures who are bound by the laws of physics that everything else in the universe is bound to, including the very rock we're living on.
Have you taken LSD and stuff?
No. I mean, I used to smoke weed for a while, but I was like, it didn't. After a while, I was like, it's not for me. I just left it. You know? Yeah. I've got no problem with drugs. It's just, I actually think the way that we prosecute people for using drugs is completely wrong. It doesn't do anything. You know what I mean? It harms more than it. I mean, you imagine getting arrested for having a bag of weed. Thankfully, the legislation is changing, right? Yeah. But there have been people who have been put away for years for having a banky of weed on them, and it's like, really? That's what we're punishing?
Because my thing is, I'm trying to understand, like, what keeps you going every time you wake up? Because
you figure it out, man. Like every other human being on the planet. You know, I mean, you've watched Thor, right?
Yeah.
Thor was once a revered god. Like people believed that he was real. But you can watch Thor and know that it's not a real person. We know where lightning comes from. But for the Nordic people, Thor was the reason lightning and storms happen. They weren't just making it up. Well, you know, they believed that it was real. So if you can believe that is real, yet we know the explanation now for lightning and storms. Now all of a sudden you don't believe it. So why not withhold the belief until we have all the facts? Not just jump to a conclusion before you have all the facts in place. You know, because I can understand why people would go, how do we get sick? Before we understood what germs were, right? What disease was. How do we get sick? Is it a curse? What is it? Is it demons? Right? We come up with all these things to try and explain the world around us. But then some pretty smart people go, oh wait, no. We've been looking at how we get day and night. Or we've been looking at our blood. We see there's little microorganisms that actually live in our skin. There's a whole world of creatures that live in our systems, on our skin, in our blood. Germs, bacteria.
So explain the world in your view, like how we got into here and what our purpose is and what's going on.
There is no purpose. I mean, when you see a dog, do you ask what purpose? What purpose does the dog have? You know.
Only if it's the big dog.
Well, again. You see, you have an evolutionary response to the big dog to go, I need to watch out for that motherfucker. Because he's got big teeth, right? But I mean, you think about it, we're what, 98% of our DNA is shared with chimpanzees, orangutans. What? We're literally different by 2%. 2%. And it's proven. Chimpanzees, 2% difference. And you go, if 2%...
Not even apes, bro.
Well, we're related to the apes. We are apes, in fact. We're not even related. We are apes. If you look at biology and how the different species are, we're distant cousins of chimpanzees, of orangutans, of gorillas and all these things. We all come from a common ancestor, right? It's proven. It's not like, magic. We were there. No, we know enough now that there's a long process has happened. I mean, the church I used to go to, they used to think the earth was maximum 10,000 years old. The fuck? Really? 10,000 years? We know that's not true, but they believe it. So what do you do then when all the evidence is there and people refuse to accept that that's true?
So why are we here then, bro?
There is no why are we here. We make up why we're here. Right? So it goes back to that question of purpose. You decide the purpose of your life. No, is it I think it's lazy to assume that you can read a book and learn that some mystical being put you here to suffer and to maybe make it to old age. When the vast majority of people on this earth don't make it to old age. You look at the statistics of children who die of cancer, who are literally born with cancer. What was their purpose? What purpose did God have for them? It's foolish thinking, I think. We create the purpose we have. That's why you can have 10 different people in a room and everybody's on their own mission in life, right? It's to raise kids. It's to love your family. It's to look after people. Be good. Try and do as much good as you can. That's simple enough. We don't have to complicate it with, imaginary people in the sky. And, you know what I mean? When the answer is much simpler. It's like people ask, aren't you afraid of dying? I go, no. Were you afraid of the time? Does it scare you that before you were born, before you have memories, you know nothing? It's a blank slate. You didn't exist. Does it stress you out at night? No. Death is the same. You just cease to exist. You're not here anymore. Just like you weren't here for the vast majority, the millennia, and
the queen will still go on.
Hey man, if it's still around, it's still exactly. Life will go on. You know what I mean? Life goes on. I know how I got here. For example, my parents had sex, and 9 months later, I showed up. Right?
Yeah.
It's not rocket science. It's biology. You know what I mean? I think we overly complicate things sometimes. We think we look for what we think are answers, but actually just create more questions. Like nobody says, okay, where did God come from? If God created everything, where did he come from? He was always there. How was he always there then? So if you weren't there when he was created, how do you even know what he thinks? But again, some authority, some pastor, some preacher must tell us and interpret what, this book means.
Who do you have these conversations with? Because I'm thinking not black people.
Myself.
Just yourself, ne?
Yeah, no. No, I'm kidding.
Black people, they're not ready for this,
look, you don't want to bore people with again, because I hate preaching to people. I try not to preach, and it's not my place. Like I said, you can believe whatever you want to believe.
And good for you.
And good for you. But it starts to be a problem, as we've seen in our recent history, where somebody believes that, blowing themselves up and everybody else around them will send them to heaven after they die. Is that belief okay?
No.
Am I so and also am I not allowed to criticize that belief? You can criticize thoughts. I can respect somebody who's religious. I don't have to respect what you think. And that's the problem. We're in a state where you must respect what everybody thinks. And it's like, no. We have to be critical of what we think as human beings because we are critical creatures. It's how we've been able to get this far in life, We've been able to advance medicine. We've been able to cure diseases. And like now, COVID, We know that we're going to have a vaccine for COVID at some point, just like the flu. Will people take it because people think vaccines are a way to inject poisons into their bodies? I know people who think like that. Or like, no, I'll never take a vaccine. They're putting like mind control. Like, get the fuck out of here. Who told you that? How did you get to that conclusion? What was the thought process behind it? You know, I'm more interested in the thought process than the conclusion per se. Because you can always hear somebody who doesn't really think about what they're saying. They just want to say something. And as soon as you ask a question, it's like...
So you don't go to like your grandmother's grave, grandfather's grave, nothing?
What, like after... No. What for? They can't hear me. That's purely a selfish thing to do because it's all about yourself at that point. You want to feel better. And again, there's nothing wrong with that. So you go speak to your dead relative. Cool, but it's a one-way conversation, except that they can't hear what you're saying, from what we can tell. You know, unless, you know, your ears, your hearing, your sense of hearing somehow survives death. I don't see how that works. We know how ears work, right? Yeah. It's like, you know, the soul, you know, to finish us off. My whole issue with the afterlife conversation, all of that is people always revert back to the reason they believe there's an afterlife is we're not just physical beings. There's something else. I go, where's that something else then? Because you can damage a person's brain and it changes their entire personality, right? You can literally damage a person's brain and they don't even remember who they are. So where does the soul happen then? Is it like on top of the brain? Is it some invisible thing that, okay, if it's invisible, how can you know that there's a soul and I don't, you know? Show me the evidence for it. I mean, can't. God, same thing. I just feel that way. Well, that's not a good reason for me to think that it's true. If it's just feelings.
Fuck.
Kind of makes it difficult.
Hey, dude, you got my mind fucked up, bro. You got my mind fucked up.
Don't get me started.
All right, cool. On a lighter note, we're going to play a game, right? We're going to play a game called Chill or Spun.
Chill or spun? Okay.
Yeah. So I'm going to give you some celebrity names. Let me know if you want to chill with them or spun with them. So if you want to chill with them, it means like, like you can just chill with them. But if it's just purely about work, you just want to spun with this person.
All right, cool.
Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Connie Ferguson.
Spun.
Nah.
Spun. But also
You're
chill.
Get fired, eh?
No. But also chill.
Yeah.
I mean, look, dude, I've work. Like I said, I accept the fact that I'm a contract worker and contracts come to an end at some point.
When you meet Connie Ferguson, you know, like we've got a boss now at Super TV. His name is Travis.
Yeah. Hey, Travis.
So whenever he cracks a joke, I have to laugh.
No, you don't.
Because he pays the bills.
Oh, fuck that. You don't have to laugh. Get out of here.
So do you do the same? When Connie cracks a joke, you have to laugh.
No, well, the nice thing with Connie is she does have a sense of humor, which helps. Yeah, it does help. Because, I mean, we work long days, man. And you can't be, like, serious all the time. Yeah. So we do mess around quite a lot on set. But no, I try not to fake it, you know?
Okay.
You know, if I'm struggling, I just walk away.
All right.
Just chill in the green room, you know?
Dineo Mweketi, chill or spun?
Both. Any day. Any day. I mean, I have like working with her just as an actress.
What a great human being, eh?
Fantastic person.
Yeah. And she's a sangoma now.
Yeah. Which I was even there for her graduation. So, which was a fantastic experience. You know, that's why I say I don't. You know, I don't shut myself off to experiences and life. I try not to anyway.
And you don't impose your beliefs.
And I certainly don't impose what I think. I don't think that's the way you should think. I just go, we should have a higher standard of what we convinced of. You know?
Would it be weird doing a sex scene with her?
Yeah, fucking weird. It'd be fucking weird. Funny, we spoke about it because there was actually an audition that came up a while back where we could possibly be playing like love interest. And I was like, yeah, it would be a shift. But I mean, we're professionals. I'm sure we'd get there. You know what I mean? But yeah, it didn't happen anyway.
She's beautiful, man.
Yeah, she's a beautiful woman.
What type of girls are you into, bro?
Girls. So women preferably.
Light skin, black.
I don't care.
Big booty, BBW.
Okay, booty.
Nah, you gotta have the booty, bro.
You know, I didn't intend for this to happen, but I look at like my exes, and it kind of did.
Nah.
Yeah. So I think I'm kind of prejudiced towards big booty women.
Well, what's your search on Pornhub? BBW, ne?
No, funny enough, no, I don't think.
Atheist bitches.
I don't even think I did. Not atheist bitches. I don't think I have a specific. I just kind of browse. And you know what's funny? Like you end up browsing, it's like, and I'll spend like, it's almost like what happens with like Twitter.
Yeah.
Like I'll end up just going.
This one is not the one. This one do the job.
Like, wait, what's going on there? 2 seconds in, like
the preview,
yeah, you know what I mean. It's like next. And I just put the phone away. I'm like, oh God, what was I doing? I was like, what a waste of time that was. You know?
No, I hear you, my G. Rami Chwene.
Both. In a heartbeat. You know, I chill with Rami. I chill with Rami all the time. You know, Mo Mutoledi as well.
Yeah.
We always try to hook up as much as possible, especially now that, you know, the lockdown regulations have been relaxed a little bit. So
with Rami, I feel like you can't argue with her. Like, I feel
of course, I do it all the time.
For real. But I feel like everything she drops is like facts, bro.
Look, she's very knowledgeable. She's got a lot of experience in the industry. She knows the industry back. You know, you when you interviewed her, you saw that.
Yeah.
She knows. You know that she knows what she's talking about, and she's not bullshitting. You know, but of course, you know, as a human being, you know, you only learn through inquiry, through asking questions. You know, so yeah, between the three of us, the four of us, I'd say Mo, Rami, Dineo, and myself, we're very different personalities.
Yeah.
So yeah. Arguments do happen. But it's all coming from a good place.
Yeah. So nothing malicious.
No.
All right. Who wins the arguments though?
Is there ever a winner?
Who pays the bill there? Who pays the bill there?
Which bill?
Like the drinks, no?
What if we're all going out somewhere together?
Yeah.
No, fuck, we'll all contribute to that shit.
It's nice at the Queen. It's
work, nigga. It's a good job.
All right, Selomake.
I'd love to do both. I got to work with him. I really would like to pick his brain about a few things. I mean, he's a very intelligent human being. And you often don't get to see it at work. Well, you see it in people's choices that they make with their characters and how they portray the characters. And you can tell that someone is a thinker, if you know what I mean. Or someone is a bit more instinctual with their approach. I try to be a bit of both. I try to balance it out. So I can be instinctual where it's just off the cuff kind of stuff. But then I always try and form that with what I've thought about the character, you know. So he's someone who strikes me as very intellectual.
Dude, that nigga's been acting since I was a kid, bro.
Dude, he's been at this thing, man.
I understand why. He's got bills to pay.
Also theater, dog. I mean, and we're fortunate, you know, as actors, there's no retirement age. As long as you keep your brain sharp and you keep yourself in good health, you can act forever, really.
True.
You really could.
Cindy Dlatu.
Oh, I'd love to work with her.
Spun.
Yeah. I mean, there was like a crossover thing that happened on the Queen with the river. And we only literally had like 1 or 2 scenes, Naya, but she's a fantastic.
Sex scene? Yeah.
Sex? No, I didn't have a sex scene.
No, would you do one, yeah?
I'd do a sex scene with anybody.
Yeah?
Yeah.
For real?
Huh.
Even Zenk.
If it serves the story, I'll do it. Yeah, jeez.
Warren Masemulla.
Okay, I've kind of chilled with Warren. I doubt you'd remember. It was quite a night. But I'd love to work with him.
What happened that night?
But I can barely remember, man. I know he was there. He was there.
He's come up as crazy, man.
I know, right? But if you look at a lot of artists, you know, the way you get into the industry, it's so different for so many people. I mean, you know, we're talking about Presley earlier, and Presley had a very different entrance into the
game,
into the industry, you know. And if you look at a bunch of other people, you know, in the industry as well, very different approaches.
Because I first heard of him when he was doing that series with
I think another one.
Jessica Nkosi.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that was late though.
For real?
Yeah.
That's the first time I'm like, hey, this guy's good, man.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh man, they need to bring that show back.
Yo, dude.
It was really good.
Bro.
It was a breath of fresh air.
Ne?
Yeah, it was a breath of fresh air.
Same guys who did Yizo. Yizo was another one.
Dude, I love that show.
Yizo, Gazlam. Ooh.
Right? So what happened to shows like that? You know, I think we got caught in the telenovela.
You niggas happened.
Hey, I didn't make the show, man. I just, you know, I got the job and I do my best and I don't care what format it is. You know what I mean?
All right, lastly, Zandile
Msutwana. Well, I've done both. So I've worked with her. I've chilled with her.
You've done more.
What the fuck are you talking about? This nigga.
I had rumors you had an affair with him.
Yeah, there was that rumor. I mean, that was like 2016.
Was that fake news though?
Yeah, it was fake news, dog.
You guys never had
an
affair?
It was bullshit. It was
For
bullshit.
real?
Yeah, it was bullshit.
Because I read it's like all over YouTube, bro.
YouTube?
Yeah.
But now?
Yeah.
Oh,
like
I think I know what happened. Somebody at work actually showed me. Somebody literally took an article that was published like back in 2016 and they literally copied and pasted it to bring traction to their blog or channel or whatever.
That's great.
It was literally that because the guy showed me at work and I was like, wait, I remember reading that article at 26. It's almost word for word the exact same thing, you know. They literally just copied and pasted.
Apparently, because what happened is your wife, what's your wife's name? Matunzi, ex-wife, sorry. She came on set. Did that happen?
No.
For real?
It never happened. She never came to set. I mean, she'd come. I remember she'd give me a lift if she was in the area. Because I mean, at the time when I was on the Queen, she was living in Pretoria. So for her to come to set in Rijmsig didn't really make sense unless, you know, she was already in the area for something.
Who the fuck wrote that article?
I don't know. You know, that's why I don't bother like questioning these things because I'm like, people will always have something to say about anything that will get them clicks or to sell their article or their newspaper or whatever it is.
When that story comes
and I accepted that a long time ago. I mean, I remember a journalist very drunk at an event one night literally telling me like, dude, no hard feelings, but if we write something about you, just understand. If we can't find something, we'll happily make something up. If we think it's what people want to read, right? So I accepted that a long time ago, that people will make shit up, you know, just to sell papers, just to get, you know, the clicks, just to get retweets on.
So nothing happened with you and Zandile?
No.
You kidding?
Nothing happened.
For real, man?
Yeah, dog.
Nothing. Ways.
I mean, it was that article. I think it was like a Daily Sun or I can't remember these Sunday blogs. These Sunday newspapers, but it was one of those tabloid papers.
What is your wife
that originally? At the time, well, she kind of thought it was true.
Yeah.
Until we had the conversation, I was like, dude. I mean, by that point, the relationship was pretty much over. But yeah, man. I mean, yeah.
Because it makes sense.
These things.
Honestly speaking, you spend more time on set than you do with your wife.
No, of course.
It's like, okay, no, I can see this happening.
Exactly. You know, it's what we were talking about earlier in terms of like crew and stuff. I mean, you know, crew are on set before. Like if my call time is 6, I know the crew are there before me. And if I wrap at 6, they'll be there after me. You know what I mean? So people, it's not a job that, like if you're not taking care of the family, let's put it that way, you can lose it very quickly because you're not spending time at home. You get home, I mean, for a lot of our crew, you get home after your kids are asleep, right? And you leave before they're awake. So it's a tough industry to work on, especially on long form things like this.
But Loyiso, with the smoke, there's fire.
With the smoke, there's fire. Uti. Really?
Zalil is a flame, dog. I wouldn't blame you, bro.
You've got me sounding like damn Donald Trump. Fake news. No, dude, no, fake news.
But dog,
I've worked with very attractive women, beautiful women, right? It just, man. I've been lucky that I've worked with professionals, right? And myself being a professional. So I never felt like lines were crossed, Yeah.
That's crazy, dog. Because if that is fake news, what do you do? There's nothing you can do. It's out there.
But that's my point. I mean, there is nothing you can do. You just carry on working, right? I accept that people will talk shit on Twitter or whatever. It's just part of you have to develop a thick skin to these things, and just focus on what's really important.
Is your phone on?
I think so.
Yeah. I want you to WhatsApp Dineo, Rami, and Connie Ferguson. Right? Tell them you need a loan for 10,000. I want to see who's gonna respond first, and then we'll call them live. Fuck that. No fucking way. Who do you think would respond though?
I know who would respond.
Who would respond? Dineo.
No, I know exactly who.
Dineo, right?
I'm not saying. I know exactly. And they'd be so quick with it too. They'd be like, dude, what's wrong? What's going on? Why didn't you tell me sooner? So no.
How did you meet your ex-wife, bro?
Oh God. It was not long after I moved to Joburg, actually.
You forgot to say, oh fuck. You just said, oh God.
Man, it's a meaningless statement for me. How about that? So, it was not long after I got to Joburg that I met her.
Before sitting on it?
Before sitting around. So she was there from the beginning of the TV stuff.
Wow.
Like right from the beginning.
She's a day one.
In a way, yeah.
So do you approach her or she approaches you?
I can't remember. I think she approached me.
She approached you? Damn.
Yeah. Facebook.
Back
when I had Facebook.
Yeah.
And
Mr. Fuck social media.
Hey, dude, no, I deleted my Facebook long ago.
Yeah.
And literally like Instagram and Twitter only because.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, she sent me a message and I don't know how we ended up running into each other because I remember I responded back at the time and I was like, hey, how you doing? Yeah, blah, blah, blah. So she'd seen me in a play that I did, right? And thought, oh, let me get in touch. And yeah, we ended up meeting up at some point and met up again. And before I knew it, we were in a relationship.
Wow.
So, yeah, it was a big part of my life. But
do you guys plan on having kids?
No, we're not together anymore. I mean, we haven't been together since 2016. So,
2016.
Yeah.
Why did you guys break up?
I think I was 24 when I got married.
Oh, you're young.
Not good. Because I know, it's not good. I mean, I wasn't in a space where I was sure of myself as a person. I was still trying to figure out a lot of things, just about myself.
On the Zandile, it's a lot. It's too much.
I get distracted. So yeah, I was just figuring out a lot about myself, and I think she was too. And
how old was she?
She was what, 2 years behind me.
Oh, okay.
So imagine I was 24.
But women grow.
That's bullshit.
You reckon?
That's bullshit.
Okay.
You can be immature at any age.
Yeah.
Right. And I think, but the two of us were really becoming adults together in a way. And who we ended up becoming were two people, not who hated each other or anything, but just very different people with very different priorities in life. And I think, that won in the end, the fact that we were very different people.
And there was no cheating involved. Yeah. It'd be like that sometimes.
Yeah, it get like that sometimes, especially when the relationship gets to a really bad place, where there's not much of a relationship there, and then neither of you are kind of looking at the real issues. Do you know what I mean? Like everybody's running away from the real issues and not dealing with them head on. Then people find other things too.
Why do you think we as guys cheat instead of just leaving?
Oh, women do the same, right? Not that it's an excuse, but I think. Honestly, I think that we're told to persevere, especially when it comes to marriage, right? We're all told to persevere. But a marriage is no different than any other relationship, right? Except that it's got a contract attached to it. So take away the contract and it's a relationship. So if the basics of that relationship are not solid, it's going to fail regardless, right? And I think what ends up happening is when people don't want to address their issues as individuals and then as a couple, you look for things to distract you. You know, it could be, you know how it is with a lot of guys, for example, it's drinking. So before they even get home, it's like, hey, let me go to the bar for a couple of drinks or meet up with the guys for a couple of before I get through the front door, you know. And women, let's be frank, when it does get to that point, often look for connection elsewhere.
Did she cheat on you?
I'm not saying that, but I'm saying that people
gravitate
to what they feel they need at that point.
Yeah.
You know, I know I drank a hell of a lot at that time.
For real?
Yeah, dog. No, I was a heavy drinker at some stage. After years of not like touching, like barely touching alcohol. You know, I went through a period where I was like, yo,
I got a friend. He came to see me this weekend from Durban. I hadn't seen this nigga in years, but the way he was drinking, man. You know, this drinking.
Yeah. I know exactly what you mean.
And it's the woman. The woman's driving me crazy, bro. He's like, hey, and he's married.
Hey guys, there's a lot of depressed married men out there. You know, and there's a lot of depressed married women out there, and it's bad, man. It's why I'm at a stage now. I'm like, I don't think I'll ever go through that again.
Yeah,
like just marriage, because I'm going. Okay, we're told that's what you're supposed to do, but why? Why is that? What's wrong with being in a relationship with somebody? That's it, you know? Why the contract? Well, and a lot of it is got nothing to do with the relationship. It's about legal things, you know? It's about tax. It's about insurance. It's about, you know, it's about making sure if you have kids.
Are you dating or?
Yeah, I'm with somebody.
Nice.
Yeah, going strong.
Yeah. But after you left your marriage, you must have gotten a lot of pussy, bro. Like, you're a good-looking guy, bro.
Well, thank you.
And you look like you're hanging there. Mandingo.
No, I didn't go down that route. No, I didn't. I threw myself into my work, to be honest.
For real?
Yeah. I threw myself into my work to just get through the day. You know
so you're not like SK?
In what way?
You know, he loves the pussy.
Your cameraman's walking away.
No, he's checking if the battery.
So
SK, we all know SK loves the pussy, bro.
Oh, I don't know that. You know.
So there's no video of you surfacing.
Video of me doing what? I'm sure there's videos of me like drinking somewhere. Or, you know what I mean? Having a good time. But no, during lockdown, I was at home.
But Loyiso, you're good looking, bro.
So
you're
what?
Famous. You got money. Girls must be throwing themselves at you, bro.
Maybe, but it doesn't. Just because the opportunity's there doesn't mean you take it, right?
So you're one of those niggas that's like, nah.
Nah, for what? Because also I don't know what those people want from me.
You're not tempted at all.
Nah, what do they want from me? What for that? You know what I mean? Do they want like their 2 minutes of fame so that they can go, look what I did?
Even if in a drunk state, you can still think clearly.
Most of the time, yeah. No, it's just why I don't have kids, man. I mean, like I said, I went through a phase where I was literally, binge drinking all the time.
Yeah.
And thankfully I didn't do anything too stupid,
So you've never slept with any girl and be like, shit, why did I bang her?
Nah.
So you've never been caught in the moment?
Nah. I mean, caught in the moment for sure, but not to the point where I like thought about my life afterwards. Like, oh shit, I fucked up on that one. You know what I mean? Nah, not to that point.
You must have a small dick, ne? You're insecure.
Maybe,
ne?
Who knows?
Nah.
Who knows?
Because you got everything. You've got the looks, the money, the fame.
Yeah, but like I said, just because the opportunity is there doesn't mean you take it. You know? I mean, it's what movie was it? Somebody said this in this movie. Just because you can't have every pussy in the world, as crude as that is.
You can try. You can try,
but you'll fail dismally, right? And you'll leave a trail of bastards and kids in your wake. So what's the point? You know what I mean? Damn it, man. Kids are expensive.
So what does it take if I'm a girl and I want to have sex with you? What does it take to get into your bed?
Do you have a job? Let's start there. Sorry to say it, but where I currently am in my life, I'm not looking to look after other people.
So your girl has a job right now?
Yeah?
Your girl has a job?
Yeah. She's working. She's got her own things going on.
Is she a co-star as well?
No. And I support her as much as I can, but she's an independent person and I'm an independent person and we just gel, right? So, for me, I'm always looking for somebody who's on the same level as me as much as possible. I don't mind if you're ahead of me a little bit, but we have to at least be on the same level. Like, don't come at me like expecting, I don't know, some sort of blesser or something. That's the first thing that makes me go, sharp. Get the fuck out of here, you know.
And what type of guy are you in the bedroom? Like, you the one that chokes or like...
Chokes?
Yeah, you know, you like...
Oh. Hey, man, I do whatever it takes. I'll do whatever I can for now. I mean, are you really going to be like, you know? You look at what's in front of you and it's like, okay. What does this situation need? You gotta be fluid with these things, man. You can't just have one approach.
Yeah.
No. You gotta go, okay. Let's read the room.
Loyiso, thank you so much for joining me, man. It's been an honor.
It's a pleasure. Thank you for keeping me here till after the bottle stores have closed.
Dude, we could have continued for another hour. Like, I say this every podcast, but literally it's the truth.
Yeah. No, I've noticed because I've been watching a few of the podcasts and I noticed.
Yeah, which one is your favorite?
Presley and Rami. Because I think they're the only actors.
Yeah. You're the third
actor. I'm
the
third actor. Yeah. Wow.
I'm trying to get Julius Malema. I want to get a politician.
Oh, that'd be interesting.
Yeah.
That'd be very interesting.
But we're not going to do Julius the politician. We're going to do Julius Malema.
Julius the man. Yeah. No, it has to be that way.
When he broke his virginity, you know what I mean?
It has to be that way.
Because, I mean, he's a man. He broke his virginity sometime.
Or did he? We don't know. I mean, there's plenty of celibate people out there. You know, which is fine.
Are you for or against celibacy?
I don't care either way. You know, I'm like, look, if that's what you choose, that's what you choose. That's fine. Yeah. There's nothing wrong with it. But
Rami, I was very nervous.
Oh yeah, why?
Yeah, I'd never met her.
Did she intimidate you?
Yeah, she's very intimidating. She's got this authority thing. Like, even when she looks at you, like, motherfucker.
Don't waste my time. Yeah.
Presley was chilled. The most humbled guy I've ever met, bro.
That's the thing. Like, I guess I'm fortunate because
you work with
I get to work with these people and you see how they interact with other people. You see how they are on set and that always helps, you know, because you see the human being first. Rather than, you know, the name or the star. You know what I mean? So, yeah, it's always nice to actually see people. Sometimes it's like, yo, that's a horrible person. But,
all right,
it is what
Loyiso, it is. In closing, I always ask people, what do you want to be remembered as?
I want to be remembered as, someone who didn't take the easy route. And I mean that in terms of the work, because that's what'll be left behind when I'm gone, you know, it'll be the work. And I always try to make it interesting for people and try to get people to think about things, change their perspective, like you said, you know, earlier. Or maybe look at things a different way. And if I succeed at that, that's great, you know. But I always want to be remembered, especially by the people who know me, as someone with integrity, somebody who was caring as much as possible.
Yeah.
And someone who tried to do the right thing, you know, more than anything else.
Yeah, dude, I gotta say, man, I mean, we met the first time on Monday when I came to the city.
Monday, yeah.
The first thing we did together was the love life thing. But honestly speaking, dog, like, I no homo, but like, your energy, dog, like.
No, thank you, bro.
Like, I really like you, man, because like, you're real, you're honest, and you're about your craft, and fuck, man, that's dope. It's very rare, you know, to get people that are just genuine and authentic, you know.
Which is a sad thing, you know what I mean? Just in life, right? I agree with you. Like, it's. I just wish we would all be a little bit more genuine. Stop trying to pretend. Stop trying to bullshit your way through life, man. Just live the life that you want to live. Do no harm. It's not a difficult thing, you know. Treat each other with respect. That's it.
And praise God.
Well, you can skip that part. Yeah. Or do it. I don't know. It's up to you. Whichever one you choose.
All right, cool, man. We're out here podcasting. What are you busy with? The Queen? Anything else coming up?
I might have a few things, but I'm also trying to work on being a bit more proactive.
Yeah.
And that's all I'll say.
Yeah. And ladies, he's taken. You in love, but we're not getting married though.
No.
Are we having kids?
No.
We're not having kids.
No, ever.
At all.
No.
We need a little MacDonald.
No, we don't.
Ronald MacDonald.
You won't be paying for school fees. So don't give me that shit, please.
We're out here, podcast and chill. Boom.